slash presenting that 2005 tax return. Yeah, so I watched that on TV because they was real excited at MSNBC about these tax returns. And I gotta wonder, did they always know that all they had was a couple of pages? Right? Or did the man call up and say, hey, I got Donald Trump's tax returns, and they were like, yo, say no more. It's like, but wait, there's only two, say no more. Right? Because all they had was 2 pages. And the 2 pages showed, I suppose, that Donald Trump did not pay a percentage of his income that you would think would be commensurate with a man of his income level. Here's the thing, though. It said he paid $38 million in taxes. So, yes, you can certainly make the argument based on what you had there that there's evidence that Trump isn't really some billionaire, right? Like, yeah, you could totally make that claim and argument and use those couple pages off that tax return to do that. You could. However, in return, Trump says, I paid $38 million in taxes. You have to understand that people are intimidated by big numbers, and they are particularly intimidated. Right? Now you get to throwing that around. That man is saying that he is paying $38 million. You're not going to convince anybody that he's not paying his fair share because he can say, I paid $38 million. Like, I'm just telling you right now, that's how the minds of most people work. So, like, if the point of putting out those simple 2 pages was to show that Trump has paid a percentage that is lower than the 39.6 for someone of his income tax bracket, that gets a great big old nobody cares beat. Like, I mean, that's not the one. Like, really. So what you're going to tell me is rich people find ways to not have to pay as much tax as the full percentage. Because one thing I think that people have to keep in mind here is everybody's trying to get out of paying their full percentage of the tax. Everybody is. I damn sure am. I don't really have a problem with this paying your fair share thing, right? And I feel like I pay a pretty hefty amount to the U.S. Treasury per year, right? Like, I am one of those people who gets to talk about what it is that you out here doing with my tax dollars, because I feel like my tax dollars can go a long way for the right people, right? And I don't really trip that hard on the tax thing. I don't. Right? Like, you hit my check heavy. Okay, cool. It would be different if you were hitting my check after I got it. But since they take your money before you ever get your hands on it, you really don't even think about it that much. Right? Like, it's gone. By the time you get a chance to copy it, like, it never actually gets to be your money. All right. So you don't really think about it that much unless you just jive greedy, man. I mean, that's it. At the same time, I got a tax man and I rock with that dude. Right. Like, I'm not just handing my money over. That's not what it is. Like, you know, regardless of how liberal you perceive me to be, I have said all along, one thing for me, I mean, I know this don't apply to everybody, but, you know, there are a lot of things that could go wrong for me in a Trump administration, but the tax game might be crazy. And I ain't really about to protest by being like, no, I'm going to go back to paying 39.6. No. Now, I also get the feeling that the Trump tax game crazy is going to affect people who are playing a completely different game than I'm playing in terms of making money. Like, they're going to be like, wait, how much stock I got to have to get this? Right? You know, like, it ain't for people like me to win. No, it is not. But at the same time, it ain't for people like me to lose. Anyway, I bring that up all to make the larger point that I don't think you're really going to rock the world by saying Trump figured out ways to not pay 39.6. Like, that's not really it. It's like if you have to explain the significance of that, I think it's fair to ask the question if maybe, just maybe, you should have held up, right? Or if you're MSNBC, you let that man put that out in his outpost, and then you bring him on to talk about it. But you don't like try to be the engine behind this. Like, yes, there's no new point to be made about Donald Trump's tax return. Everybody understands the significance of those tax returns and why those tax returns could be important. Either they understand it or they absolutely don't care. Or they just made the decision that this is one of those things they're going to let ride for whatever reason, right? It's one of those two things. But you're not going to get on TV and have like 15 minutes of explanation of what the tax returns are going. No. That's not going to be. You need to come off. Like, I know you're trying to get viewers to stay on or whatever. Nah. You need to come off the rip being like, yo, here we got it. Boom, the full tax return. But it can't be no 2 pages. Right now, I presume that if the 2 pages became available, then the rest will become available at some point. But you ain't about to do it with no 2 pages. That's not going to be it. You wind up looking like Geraldo at Grant's tomb at this point. You can't do that. Like, you had to have a little bit more than that to sell it that hard. I don't think there was any, like, and I guess everybody wants to make sure they write or first or make sure nobody else had it sent to them or anything else. But even if that's the case, you can't push it like, yo, we got his tax return. Nah, y'all got 2 pages of his tax return. 2 pages. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're 2 fairly significant pages. But that ain't what nobody wants to see on those tax returns. Come on now. Even that, 2 pages off 1 year. That's it. It's 2 pages off 1 year. Nah, they set themselves up for a bad one because they oversold it. There's no other way to look at it. They oversold it, right? So like even I as a person who can go and read and see, okay, this is okay. I can see why you say this is important. Okay, I can see why this. Okay. If you're having to explain that to me, I feel fairly confident saying you got no hope at the median. Like, if this is not self-evident, this ain't going to do what you want. It's just not. And they came out with something. They're like, this is a big deal. Now, let me tell you why. See, and that right there. Nope. That's not going to work. That's not how you're going to do it. That's not. And they went out with it the way that they did. And I wonder what happens if they ever get anything more, significant than that. But I think, and I've never worked as an editor or producer in this sort of context, but if I had to guess, I think that it was probably best for them just pump the brakes just a little bit on that one. Just a little bit.